France to England is going to happen tomorrow. Well, for driving in there in future, rather than the tractors they're using at the moment, they're developing some rather unusual and sophisticated vehicles. The cab at each end means you never need to try a tricky three-point turn in the tunnel. And the middle section can be swapped to cope with whatever's happening down there. You could have a maintenance truck, or a fire engine, and of course an ambulance. Oh, on y va. And once you're in the tunnel, you don't even have to steer. Wires embedded in the floor guide the vehicle automatically.
The first attempt to bore a tunnel under the Channel finished up just 2 kilometres long, but that was back in 1880. More than a century later, the first trains are poised to make history. With the freight service now delayed for at least a month, and the services for cars and coaches to start up still later in the year, it looks like it'll be a good 6 months before the shuttles are fully operational, and it's only then that Eurotunnel will get an inkling of whether this service will be a real commercial success.
We've got to fancy Torval and Dean for a medal, and I think the four-man Bob could do quite well as well. Hang on a minute, where do you think you're going? You haven't paid for that. And besides, you might be tempted by an alternative serving suggestion. You see, lager has a habit of losing its head seconds after it's been pulled, and that leaves many a customer crying into their beer. So consider carefully this identical lager. It's coming from the same tap and the same brewery, but I have a feeling that you'll find that hard to turn down flat. This lager is in a glass of its own, because it's the glass which is now putting a lasting head onto the lager in front of your very eyes. Carbon dioxide is added to lager and keg beers, and that creates the head, but the gas is in solution, so before it can make foam, it has to make bubbles. Well, these form on tiny imperfections in the glass, and then they rise to the surface. But normal glass is too smooth to create enough bubbles to keep the head alive. So at the bottom of this new glass, if you have a look in this one, you can see there's a rough stippled surface on the base in the shape of these concentric circles. The stipples were produced by fusing tiny particles of glass onto the inside of the base, and these then make ideal sites for bubbles to form continually to maintain a foaming brew right down to the last swig. Now, which one do you prefer? This one? You still want the flat one? Oh, I get it. You're a real ale fan, aren't you? Yeah, I should have known. Oh, good customer. That's it for tonight. Next week, I'll be reporting on a laser TV that has a screen the size of your living room, and that's in Moscow. Have a great weekend. See you back here next Friday. Good night.